Hi everybody, this is Cassie DW.
Mariah Wicker, Keller Williamson, Plymouth.
And this week and last week we are telling everybody a little bit about ourselves. So you get to know us, why we got into the business, and just a little bit about us personally.
Yeah. So last week we talked about me. So we're recording at the same time, so this is the same outfit.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, weird. We wore the same thing.
Yeah. I'm coming from field day, so I look like a sixth grader. But anyway, so this week we're going to talk a little bit about how Cassie got into the business and what you're doing outside of real estate.
Yeah.
So let's start off. It's funny, we have the notes here. It says Mariah's 32. Cassie is 31. Two.
Yep.
Cassie's 32, and you've been in the business for
4 years.
4 years, and you live in Halifax with your wife Amy, your daughter Quinn, and 2 dogs now.
Well, currently there's 4 dogs and a bunny at my house.
Okay. So tell us more about who's at home with Cassie.
Who's at home? We have this week 4 adults, a baby, 4 dogs, a bunny, and a fish. So
it's busy.
It is. We currently sold my mom's house, and we're in the process of building her an in-law on our house, but she's living on our side until that thing's built. And then I'm selling my meme's house right now, and she is staying with a family member until we kind of figure out her next step. So she'll be at our house a few nights a week, every week. So yeah, we're just full of people in a 1,000 square foot ranch. So,
but about to be 2,000 and some change.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So,
now, Cassie, where'd you grow up?
I grew up actually in Brookfield, Massachusetts, which
so those of us on the South Shore, we're gonna need a map.
Yep. I'll say it's halfway between Worcester and Springfield.
Okay.
So it's the very west of Central Mass.
Okay.
Next to Sturbridge, which you might have heard of, Old Sturbridge Village.
Mm-hmm.
Which I grew up 5 minutes from, and I went to for the first time in my life last year.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
And what about college? Like after high school, what'd you do?
Yeah, so I went to LaSalle College in Newton, right outside Boston, and we used to play Emerson for softball. I played softball there, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a physical therapist, hated anatomy, so dropped that. Thought I wanted to be a teacher, took my first ed class, and the professor actually was like, the field's horrible, education sucks, get out now while you can. So I had a professor, one of my math professors, and she was amazing. I loved math, I was good at it, so I was just an applied math major, and then worked for insurance kind of right out of college. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So kind of, it's funny, like both of us kind of are in like secret related industries that like looking back now helped, but at the time we didn't know. Like I never would have guessed I would have ever become a realtor.
Yeah, no, honestly, actually my mom was an agent growing up.
Oh,
so
right. Okay.
I say if I sold my first house when I was 4, my mom brought me seriously though, my mom brought me to a showing, and it was a single guy, wanted a family, but he just hadn't found his life partner yet. And he saw me running around the house that he eventually bought, and he was like, you know what, I see her, I'm gonna buy this house. So
look at that.
Okay, so my first house when I was 4. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yep.
Now, how did you end up getting into it? Well, what was your career before real estate though? So
after insurance, I hated, like, desk job was not for me. Hated that life. And I always thought about teaching, and I really, I missed helping people. And actually in the insurance role, I ended up becoming a trainer at that college, at that insurance company. And I was like, man, I love teaching people. So I went back, I took my teaching test, got the license, and I became a middle school math teacher.
Nice.
So yeah, that was
yes. Everyone's childhood dream.
Middle school math. Yep. 7th and 8th graders is kind of where I spent most of my time.
Yeah. So I ended up teaching middle school after I taught high school. So when I was in Mansfield, I was teaching middle school as well. So.
Nice.
And then how did you get the real estate bug?
So again, my mom was an agent growing up, and kind of just as we weren't making the money that we wanted to make. My wife's also a teacher. She teaches kindergarten. And we really wanted to buy our own first house, but on 2 teachers' salary, that wasn't going to happen. So I took my courses in 2019, and I took my test and passed February of 2020.
Wow, what a time.
And then March 13th happened in 2020.
So when you saw the news about COVID, what was your first reaction after getting your license? I mean, you still had another career, so.
Yeah, so I was teaching at the time, and I honestly was like, okay, well, I guess this is going to put a pause on real estate. Although I was actually so excited just to have access to the MLS. The apartment we were living in was like this big complex, had like, I don't know, 500 people in it. And then COVID, we had a common door to go through and hallways, and I absolutely hated it. So I used the MLS to find our next home, which was a single family townhome that we got to go into.
Oh,
so
nice.
That was exciting. And that was actually my first real estate commission, was my own rental.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. See, now when COVID happened, I was about 4 months into the business.
Oh, wow.
And had abandoned my degree career.
Yeah.
So
you're like, it's it.
Yeah. And a lot of people had said, if real estate was a degree career, why wouldn't everybody do it?
Yeah.
Because we know why, because not everyone's as motivated. But I thought, I need to get out of the business.
Really?
Yeah.
Back then? Well, glad you didn't.
Yeah. So, all right, so you're teaching, it's COVID. How'd you end up now? Are you still teaching?
No, so I was teaching for about the first 2 years of my career, did dual career. I just did a few deals each year. Not really, everyone thinks real estate is an awesome side gig. I'm going to get my real estate license. I'm going to help friends and family. I'll do my full-time job and I'll make a little money on the side. And then you quickly learn that real estate is not a side gig.
Yeah.
It is
contact sport.
It's a contact sport, but it's also it's people's most expensive. It's one of the most important things people are going to do in their life. So I felt like treating it as a side gig and really not putting my all in was definitely not servicing my clients well. And then we had our first child, and again, did the math, putting her in daycare and paying that daycare fee with the teaching salary. It was going to be more than half the teaching salary. So we decided to bite the bullet and see how real estate would go going full time. And last year was my first year doing it full time, and it was my best year yet. I was able to cap in the Keller Williams world. We know kind of what that is, and ended up being the bronze top agent in the office. So
yeah. Now, have you been with KW the whole time you were in the business?
No, I was with Coldwell Banker, because the agent who I got that first rental from was with Coldwell Banker.
Oh, and that's how
yeah.
Oh, nice.
And that's how I
found a brokerage. Nice.
Yep.
You see, I walked in and thought they were going to send me to school, and
and they were like,
"No, come back.
Go pay for your license and come back." Yeah.
And then I found out what a commission was in the class.
Yeah.
Other than real estate, what do you do with your time?
So kind of same as you. We just spend a lot of time with our daughter Quinn and dog Sophie. So my actual dog's name is Sophie, and we like being outside, just playing. We go to a lot of story times, pretty much.
Who has the best story time on the South Shore?
Kingston.
Really?
And it used to be Halifax. Our librarian used to be Holly, who then moved to Kingston. So Holly, we miss you in Halifax. But the Halifax one is amazing now too. But she's just one of the most personable people. But it's so busy because she's so good. So back at Halifax, we had our little crew, and it was amazing. But it's really good. Honestly, all of them are. Pembroke has a great one.
Yeah.
Hanson. Yeah. So and I post a lot about the different story times that are around here. So definitely go check out my page, because you'll see a lot of those on there.
Yeah. Pembroke was the first one I went to, and I feel like it's silly, nothing compares to your first story time.
Yep.
What is your real estate superpower?
Mine, I think, is definitely to understand kind of what my clients want and how to get it for them, and really just being able to connect, know what they need to know. I think the same as you, that teaching period, and especially the beginning preparation period, I think is so important. Again, really understanding them, making sure they're not wasting their time doing XYZ and having an awesome transaction from A to Z. And like you, at the end, they're not just like, oh, wow, I just bought a house and know nothing. It's like they're really going to feel comfortable and confident by the time they get those keys.
Yeah. And off topic of real estate, favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show, OG, Grey's Anatomy. Big Grey's Anatomy fan. I've
Never seen it.
I don't even know if we can speak anymore. But I have seen every episode. I could probably, like the first 10 seasons, I could probably repeat the entire episode, every episode, word for word.
Well, okay. Favorite food?
Favorite food? Potatoes. French fries, chips, mashed potatoes, any of them. That's...
Do you want to hear a funny story?
What?
So you order takeout, right? And then they're like, oh, steak tips and sides, and they'll give the option of, baked, mashed, fries, rice, whatever. So Derek almost without fail every time will say baked mashed.
Baked mashed.
Which I guess there are twice baked potatoes, but they're always baked
or mashed. No, I want to.
Yeah. He'll usually get mashed and fries, which I feel like maybe is what you would opt for.
Yeah, I would probably do mashed and fries over.
Yeah.
Over baked.
What about your favorite book?
Favorite book is, I'm gonna flip the thing. But I think it's How to Win Friends and Influence People, or How to Influence People and Win Friends. It's just about leading and how to make everyone feel good no matter what conversation or no matter what you're doing. So really just how to empower people and how to make people feel better.
Yeah, nice. And back to biz, best advice for buyers?
I'd say keeping an open mind and not kind of having tunnel vision on what you think you want. I don't think I've had a buyer buy the house that they described to me at our first meeting ever. I feel like they always end up learning something else that they like, or through houses that we've previewed, they're like, oh my God, I never thought about that. Like, I want to go here. So keeping an open mind, and I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but really just listening to your agent and trusting the process.
Yeah. I think yesterday's tip was go see everything in your price range. Don't rule anything out. You might surprise yourself.
Yep.
At a later date, we'll talk about my brown leather couch.
Your what?
My brown leather couch.
Brown leather couch? I don't think I know that story.
Okay. Best advice for sellers?
Best advice for sellers is don't listen to your neighbors, kind of what's happened down the street, anything at any time. They're like, oh, well, my friend down the road got X amount 2 years ago. I should get this. Each house is really specific, especially, where it is, what's there, the age of it, what that inside of the house looks like, what the outside of the house looks like. So there's so many specific things that, again, us agents, we spend so much time researching the market and seeing what are things selling for, what do comparables look like, not just what our friends have been talking about. So really to try to just look at your house as your house. And then
what about a neighbor that wants to buy your house?
If the neighbor that wants to buy your house wants to spend more money than your agent is telling you, then you take that deal.
I always say there's a neighbor that always wants a deal, right? Yeah. That thinks they're going to get a discount because they're your neighbor. Yeah,
well that, and honestly, the same thing is for sale by owner. I know, I was just talking to somebody and they're like, oh, you know what, I think I'm going to sell my house myself. And because they're like, I don't have to pay the agent's fee. And I'm like, well, the same thing as your neighbor. Everyone looking at that house is going to think they're going to get it for a discount.
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah. How about a fun little game to wrap it up?
All right.
2 truths and a lie.
2 truths and a lie. All right. Let's see. I was the star of a play. I cannot feel half of my pointer finger. And I went in a jet that broke the sound barrier.
It's gotta be the jet and the sound barrier.
Is the lie?
Yeah. So tell me more about the pointer finger.
So actually in college, I was playing with an X-Acto knife after softball practice, and I cut my finger right there, and I ended up slicing the nerve. So actually on this finger, I can't feel this half pretty much still. Like wow. I can barely feel it. Yeah, I had to get nerve surgery, and I missed it happened the Monday before we left for spring training, before softball.
Wow.
And yep, I had to get surgery, and then missed my whole freshman year. And it's my glove hand, so still to this day, like if I try to catch a ball, it hurts. So I played my sophomore year, and then every single time I would catch it would hurt. And so I sat out my junior year and then tried to play again my senior year, but it hurts
so
bad.
Sad.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a crappy ending to the softball career. But
so you don't have a good relationship with X-Acto knives?
No, my whole family is like, no. And honestly, the worst part about it is I only had it because I took a stupid first year seminar class that we had to take, and it was an art class, and they made us buy this $200 art kit in order to take the class. I'm sorry, I respect people who are good at art, but I'm horrible. I am not an artist. So I had to buy this huge kit, and that's where I got the X-Acto knife from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
Bummer.
Yeah.
And star of a play?
Yeah, when I was in elementary school. It was actually about the Northern Lights, so I was so sad a few weeks ago. I missed the Northern Lights here.
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen them, but yeah, the Aurora Borealis, and I remember running all around. Yeah, so.
Well, Cassie, it's been great sitting down, getting to know you outside of real estate and a little deeper in real estate as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that.
Awesome, cool. Well, thanks guys, and we'll see you next week.